Welcome to AviatorDB News Briefing. Today is Saturday, June 20th, 2026. Here are today's top stories. United 737 escalates to fuel emergency on Newark approach. Boeing 777X certification timeline slides toward 2027 as FAA focuses on MAX. Delta Airlines raises quarterly dividend 15% on strong cash flow. TSA warns World Cup fans, ranch dressing is a liquid. Now for the details. A United Airlines Boeing 737 declared a fuel emergency during its approach to Newark Liberty International Airport, EWR, according to an analysis of air traffic control recordings highlighted by aviation analyst Captain Steve. The incident illustrates a critical and often misunderstood distinction between an advisory minimum fuel call and a formal fuel emergency declaration in congested airspace. The flight crew initially notified ATC of a minimum fuel state, an advisory indicating that any further delay could result in landing with less than planned reserve fuel. As delays continued, the crew escalated to a fuel emergency, which obligates ATC to provide priority sequencing and handling to ensure the aircraft lands before reserves are exhausted. Despite the sensationalized framing circulating on social media, there is no evidence the aircraft suffered an engine flameout or exhausted all usable fuel. Neither the FAA nor the NTSB has issued a formal incident report for the event, but it arrives amid heightened scrutiny of Newark operations. Recent documented incidents at EWR include United Flight 169, a Boeing 767-400 that struck a light pole and a vehicle near the New Jersey Turnpike on May 3, 2026, prompting an operational alert regarding RNAV arrivals. Together, these events highlight the systemic pressures and narrow safety margins that define one of the world's busiest terminal areas. The certification of the Boeing 777X is expected to slip further into 2027 as the Federal Aviation Administration prioritizes completing certification work on the 737 MAX 7 and MAX 10 variants. FAA Administrator Brian Bedford indicated the wide-body program will follow the narrow-body work, according to reports from Airways and IBA Group. Despite the timeline pressure, the program continues to log technical milestones. Liam News reported June 7, 2026, that Boeing received FAA approval to proceed with Type Inspection Authorization, TIA, Phase 4 billion flight testing on the 777-9, a meaningful step forward in the certification sequence. Boeing CEO Kelly Ortberg has acknowledged the schedule pressure, stating, "We're clearly behind our plan in getting the certification done." The 777X program has faced repeated delays since its 2013 announcement. First deliveries were originally targeted for December 2019. In October 2025, Boeing moved delivery expectations to 2027 and recorded a $4.9 billion pre-tax charge against the program. With 624 orders on the books, including those from launch customer Lufthansa, the aircraft remains strategically critical for Boeing, even as analysts warn the ongoing delays may hand Airbus a competitive edge in the long-haul wide-body market. Delta Airlines' board of directors declared a quarterly dividend of $0.2152 per share of common stock on June 18, 2026, an approximately 15% increase from the $0.1875 per share paid in February 2026. The dividend is payable July 30th, 2026, to shareholders of record as of the close of business on July 9, 2026. The move signals management's confidence in sustainable cash generation and a broader return to normalized capital return policies following the post-pandemic recovery period. The dividend hike follows a strong financial trajectory. In its first quarter 2026 results, Delta reported record operating revenue of $15.9 billion and non-GAAP earnings per share of 0.64. Although non-fuel unit costs rose approximately 6% due to recovery expenses and capacity constraints, the carrier maintained operating cash flow of $2.4 billion. Looking ahead, Delta issued optimistic guidance for the second quarter, projecting industry-leading profit of approximately $1 billion. That financial strength underpins the company's ability to sustain shareholder returns while continuing infrastructure and fleet investments. The announcement reflects a sector-wide shift back toward balance sheet discipline and investor payouts as major U.S. carriers consolidate their post-pandemic recoveries. The Transportation Security Administration has issued a series of public reminders to international visitors attending the World Cup after a surge of travelers attempted to carry full-size bottles of ranch dressing through airport security checkpoints. The agency clarified that ranch dressing is classified as a liquid and must comply with the standard 3-to-1-1 carry-on rule, which limits containers to 3.4 ounces, 100 milliliters, or smaller. Many foreign fans, apparently discovering the popular American condiment during their visit, attempted to bring large bottles home as souvenirs, according to reports from The Independent and TSA social media posts. TSA officials used Instagram and other platforms to urge travelers to pack the items in checked luggage or purchase travel-sized containers before reaching the checkpoint, or risk confiscation. In a characteristically lighthearted but firm advisory, TSA specifically cautioned passengers against attempting to chug their ranch dressing outside the security lane in a last-ditch effort to avoid surrendering it. The agency noted that the condiment is subject to the same protocols as shampoos, gels, and other liquids. The trend underscores the operational challenges airports face during major international events, when large numbers of tourists may be unfamiliar with U.S. aviation security regulations. That's all we have for today. You can get the latest aviation news at aviatordb.com.